Recording. 1, 2, 1, 2. Oops, here we go. I'm gonna put it here. This is this is for the express ad for the November, was it 5th or whatever, the ad we put in the paper for 870 Temple Street, but I had scheduled it for the first Tuesday in November, and that was a state election, so we're gonna
eat that $44.
Yes, we are. I'm not, because I already paid that $145 or whatever last time. So,
Okay.
So I need a motion to pay it.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, come on.
Today's the. Can you accept?
There we go.
And this is for payroll for.
Kind of hard to hear what you're saying.
Sure. This is for the payroll for pay ending
The fan is
Jay.
really loud.
12/21/24 and 1/4/25. I need a motion.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I hope to have a seat at this table with you guys too, by the way.
Awesome.
Okay, and this is for the minutes for December 3rd. Like, does anybody have any questions, changes?
Nope, no comments.
Need
Motion to approve.
a second. Sure. All in favor?
Aye.
I can't hear.
I'll talk louder.
You want us to slide up? There's no films coming from.
Well, we're just doing our business right now, but yeah.
That's fine.
Okay, this is minutes for the December 17th, 2024 meeting. Anybody have any questions, adds, deletes?
No questions. No comments.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. I haven't had time to review the resume or whatever of the person that Lori sent me this morning. So I know somebody.
That's me.
Hello.
You're still on it.
Yep, Ed Winnett.
Excellent.
So if once you guys review it, then I can just forward it on to Lori.
You got it.
Once we do that. Okay. And then, do you have any questions?
I don't. I obviously I said I'm an avid outdoorsman, so really interested in what goes on with the open space and our nature and environment. So
Great.
I've been in town my whole life, fourth generation. So I've served on other committees in town too, and I recently retired.
Yeah.
So I have some free time on my hand now. So give back to the community.
Ample time.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, good. And so I had talked to Charles about the 8 Patriot thing and told him that it wasn't covered, and then I gave him.
Okay.
Did I tell you this already?
Yep.
Yeah, but we'll put it in the public meeting. So I gave him Whitney's phone number, and also when I had talked to him, so they had cut down Christmas Eve. They went to the house, the lot on Row Road Ave, and at 8 o'clock Christmas Eve, cut down trees.
The Christmas trees?
No, just the trees on the lot.
Oh,
And so a little suspicious. Anyway, he's told me at one point one gentleman's name, but then he said that Steve Egan is going to be the developer, so I don't know if Steve bought the property or whatever, but I told him to contact Steve because we don't have any jurisdiction. And then he also said that one of the neighbors thought that they had chopped down one of his trees. And it's like, or their trees. And it's like, then,
That's more like legal.
yeah, it's like, then talk to Steve. And if they in fact did, then they have a legal obligation to plant a tree to replace what they did or whatever. It's not none of our business. So,
Does that go to the courts? Am I supposed to ask questions?
you can ask questions.
Does that go to the courts? Because there is a fine for cutting down people's trees that aren't.
That's not our.
That's not-
I don't. Yeah,
It would
it's
be
not
anywhere but here.
But it
yeah.
would go to the
probably,
Yeah.
but
You can sue over that property rights and for just trespassing and stuff.
yeah, but
Yeah.
outside of here.
outside of yeah,
It's
No.
enough headaches.
yeah.
yeah, it's like I don't want to
That's right.
do more stuff than
Non-jurisdiction.
yeah. Anything that's out of our jurisdiction, I don't want to comment on because somebody can whatever. Let me see.
How about the Auburn Street pool? Did we ever get back to them? Said they got a file.
She responded with, am I supposed to report the invasive pool to town? So I was like
Like a neighbor?
I thought like the permeable, that one, like at Temple Street, 870,
Yeah.
whatever. I was like, I
Oh, like a
what do you call that?
vernal pool?
Yes,
Really?
that's.
They have a
That-
vernal pool?
She said something like that. I was like, I thought this was about. I go, I'm sorry, but I'm a little confused. I thought you were inquiring as to you wanted to put an in-ground pool, and
Oh,
I thought
She
that's
never-
what it was too.
yeah,
me too,
because that's what
yeah.
Arlene said. So, but she hasn't emailed me back, so I don't know if it's an in-ground pool or if it's this other pool.
okay.
Okay.
But yeah, she hasn't gotten back to me. Anything else? Oh, so when I was driving to a railroad and looking at Patriot Lane, I ended up going by Stetson Street because you have to go Stetson Street and take a right to railroad.
It is in that area.
Yes. So
That's actually the closest wetland to that river.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Dennis has started. They have it's not plywood. It's framed, but it doesn't have the whatever siding they have. It's the green stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is because when we built our house, it was like the paper, they plywood.
Now it's
Then
all
they-
in one.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, but it's not done, but
Oh.
it's in process. And then since I was there and I was trying to figure out where he lived, then I ended up Patriot Lane is the next street over from Constitution Circle. So
Retaining
then,
wall people.
yeah, so I, went in the cul-de-sac and they haven't started. So I'm just like, in our boilerplate, I'm gonna now put that don't call us to inspect the silk fence or anything unless it's a week or less than the start of construction. Because when did we go out?
Oh, gosh.
September, maybe?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Things can fall down. Things
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Before
Yeah.
Halloween, yeah.
yeah. So
All right, I'll put that in.
yeah. What else? I think that's it. No one else is called, which is good.
Yes, that's good.
So, I think we have
Just want to mention
somebody's coming.
one thing. Just want to mention the next meeting of the Open Space and Recreation Plan Steering Committee is coming up on Monday, the 13th at 6 o'clock here. I think you're on the chain. So
Yep.
The Joe is too.
Downstairs?
Yeah.
Oh, right here.
I think it's not gonna. Well, we met upstairs
Okay.
previously, but I don't know. That
Alright.
may change. So, but just a heads up on that. The results are in from all the surveys and whatnot, so that's interesting.
Oh, okay.
So that'll start to be reviewed. So we'll stay updated on anything that's
Awesome.
Okay.
related to us. But I plan to go to that meeting on the 13th.
I'll try to make
but-
that.
Okay.
Those results will be published or talked about at that meeting.
We're going to talk. It's not a public meeting, so it's just for the steering committee.
I got you.
So we'll talk about the results in there. I believe that all the results will be shared though with the public
Yeah, I would imagine
through
so.
other means. Yeah, a little later on
Gotcha.
once they're sort of processed. Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
So that, and then just to remind you about any reimbursement for
oh yes,
training. Yeah.
and I don't have.
Yeah, no,
It wasn't in the. So I don't know if Erica has it. Usually we get a kind of a statement that says how much money we have. So, and I don't see it. So at the next meeting we will look at the balance because we have the notice of intent. That's one which we only use that account for the big stuff. Then we have the expense account, which that's where our dues come out of, and I don't know how much money's left in that because our dues are like, I think they were at almost 400, or if not over 400, but we can certainly do some of that or take some out of the notice, depending on how much we have, because we just got the 2 proposals for the ponds. But we can look and because we have another account, but it's a gift from Mrs. Campbell for about Harding Pond. So I'm only going to only use that if we have anything with Harding Pond. Okay. I did see the superintendent walk by, but I don't know if he's coming or going, it was either the fire chief or the police chief. I don't know.
And we send an email to John Travis telling him he can go ahead and do this bill project. I'm not sure if he thinks he got the go ahead from us. I think he did, but
Yeah, we told him we
I
could.
think he just needs something really quick in writing.
What?
I think he just needs something really quick in writing to put out his application.
Oh, did he send me something? Did he send?
I just talked to him.
Oh, okay. Then you can sign it. Yeah, we don't have to approve because we already approved it at the meeting.
Yeah.
So he might have forgotten to give us the piece of paper.
Okay.
So, well, this is gonna be
You want to move downstairs? Go quieter?
yeah.
Actually, it would be. Yeah. Well,
Yep, they've already set up, so I don't.
yeah, I know.
So, okay, it is 7:47 p.m. Tuesday, January 7th. This is for notice of intent of the Whitman Middle School. We have a big crowd tonight, so if you guys want to just come on up and
Up close and personal.
yeah,
Now,
it's like,
Just the important ones are here.
yeah. Had we not done this, it would have been packed
Yeah,
downstairs.
that's right.
That's how it always goes, isn't it?
We did this for your benefit, so
Yeah.
I was gonna say, do you want us to still run the slideshow for you, or do you want?
I'd like a little of it.
I do, yeah,
I'd like,
hoping a little bit kind of comes out from my questions.
yeah. So this is for the notice of intent 3400486, 100 Portwell Avenue, Whitman, Massachusetts 02382. This is for demolition of the existing middle school and construction of the new school. The building, drive aisles, parking areas, retaining walls, outdoor play and learning areas, utilities, stormwater management facilities, and incidental site grading. Construction will take place within the buffer zones associated with PBD PBW as well as within the riverfront area. Can I have a motion that since it's just us and there are 42 abutters, could we waive the reading of the butters?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
You
Alrighty.
guys already approved it?
Not that part. Reading of 42 names and addresses. So,
They get things done.
alrighty. So, since we've done the site inspection, we'll turn it over to you, and you can. And I'm going to move on the other side of the table.
It's 340-0486. Is that what it is?
Yes.
Here's a printout of the official NOI.
So my name is Gary DeBlois. This is Stephanie Dypace. We're here from the Vertex Companies with the civil engineer on the new Whitman Middle School project.
I just read so they can hear you.
Oh,
The recording.
sorry.
Yeah.
I'll start that over again. My name is Gary DeBlois, and I'm here with Stephanie Dypace. We're the civil engineers on the Whitman Middle School project. We're from Vertex Companies. I'm a senior project manager. Stephanie's a senior engineer. We're here tonight seeking approval for a notice of intent for the project. The project includes the new school building, several athletic fields, and all the associated supporting site features. This includes a new stormwater management system, which Stephanie will touch on in more detail as we go through here. As far as the regulatory process to date, we submitted our application for the NOI back in August. Mass DEP went through, completed their review, provided review comments to us. We responded to those and received emails saying that there were no other comments on their end. Following that, we submitted to the site plan review approval. Do you want me to?
She's a recording secretary.
Yeah. So now she's here. So.
Just, yeah.
So following, after we submitted the NOI application, we learned that we needed to make sure we did the site plan review with the zoning board prior to coming before you tonight. So we submitted there. Our team appeared before the zoning board on December 9th, received approval for the project, and we are now here with you guys today. Went last Friday, January 3rd, on a site walk with the 3 current members of the Conservation Commission. Walked the site, the areas of the jurisdictional boundaries, discussed the project in detail, and that brings us to where we are tonight, looking for a vote of approval on the project. Going through in detail with the slide on screen right now, this is our resource area overview. What we've done here is just overlay the jurisdictional areas and their associated buffers over an aerial, showing where the existing school is and where the existing site disturbance is in relation to those jurisdictional areas. The red is an unnamed stream, with the orange showing the 200-foot riverfront area. The purple is it's called, I know, special flood area, but the bordering land subject to flooding was the one in my mind. And then the darker blue lines you see to the western map north side of the property and map south side of the property are the bordering vegetated wetlands, with the light blue being the 100-foot buffer off of those. Also along the northern portion of the site, just to the northwest of the existing school, are 2 small isolated wetlands, which are not jurisdictional by Mass DEP. So those weren't included in the application.
Do you mind reading the footprint? 2 to the footprint of it.
Correct. Yep.
Can I ask a quick question?
Absolutely.
So on the right-hand side of the building, there are some wetland boundary offsets, but I don't see the 100-foot wetland buffer between that boundary.
Oh, you're right.
and the school.
Yeah, I think that line, it might be on a different CAD layer, and I apologize for that. That when we change the colors to plot that nice light blue color, yeah, it's stuck in gray tone. I apologize.
But there is a.
There is, yes.
The school is outside that 100-foot.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. It's one tricky thing with the technology sometimes.
Yeah, that one, that's right. That doesn't exist, right?
The
Which one?
one that's wrapping, so just to the right of the lower part of the school.
Yeah, the ones, yeah. Look, that's there's no buffers on that.
Is
The one I was just asking.
Yeah.
The two circles that are up top, and then
Yep.
right below it is a hook. Yeah, there's no buffer line shown. The 100-foot buffer line.
That's all.
But you're
Wasn't
right,
on
it
the
may be
survey.
on a different layer on it.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, might not.
But now I'm questioning myself.
As long as it's outside that 100-foot.
So the two little, are you talking about the two little circles, right?
No.
No, the two little circles are the isolated.
Yeah, right. Yep, that's right.
Down below with the hook.
Yeah, yeah, gotcha.
I don't know how many feet that is. Really. It doesn't matter, but
No, there's still more than 100 feet there.
yeah.
Yeah, the school just screwed that. The new one doesn't.
This is the 100 buffers.
That's what, yeah.
I can check.
It's so hard to see. I can't see.
Yeah.
See where they're. I didn't notice it. There's a
Yeah. So the good news is that that's all currently disturbed area.
Is it
Oh.
not fiction?
It's not first.
The whole line?
That whole portion is isolated.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
That's
I love it. Not jurisdiction.
that's what it is. It's here.
Okay.
For this one. But this is considered isolated. Since it's one of the size. Because of the size. It's not long enough.
Okay.
So that was
It's so there's two types of wetlands. What we're mentioning isolated has too small square footage to be considered.
Yeah, so isolated would be under our jurisdiction, just to be clarified.
So that one area is isolated, therefore not jurisdiction.
Okay.
Look at that also.
Yes. Okay, so now this is proposed.
Yep. Were there any other questions on the existing?
No.
Other than a valuable thing that we should have different colors for the isolated, non-jurisdictional.
What?
Any questions?
Nope.
So what we show here is the proposed site layout with those same jurisdictional areas shown with the same buffers. There is work within, a small amount of work within the bordering vegetated wetland towards the top of the sheet. Small triangle you can see right at the center top. There's that area, and there is a small area along the bottom right, to the right hand near the existing field with a walking trail goes through. It's approximately 1,600 square feet, which we are replacing approximately 2,700 square feet. We're replacing that disturbed area with approximately 2,700 square feet to the use of the rain gardens and the plantings within the rain gardens. The bordering land subject to flooding, a special flood hazard zone A. We're doing work within that area. We are not reducing the storage capacity at all, and we are actually reducing, according to Mass DEP, reducing the square footage impact in that area by removing the parking right along the entranceway from Corthell Ave. There is quite a bit of disturbance. I don't have the square footage in front of me within the 100-foot buffer of the bordering vegetated wetland, but it is predominantly all areas that are considered redevelopment as they've already been disturbed. And then similarly within the 200-foot riverfront area, we are disturbing a square footage in that area. That chart down here, but that number's 88,000 square feet. Is that number correct? Yeah.
Yep.
But I believe of that 88,000, I want to say it was about 1,500 square feet of that is not previously disturbed. So there's a very, very small amount that has not been previously disturbed. Of the 200-foot riverfront area.
Yep.
And then for anyone who hasn't been out to the site, the reason the stream just seems to cut off in the middle of nowhere and then start back up on the other side is that it goes through 2 large culverts underground and daylights back on the other side of the site. As far as the jurisdictional areas go, that sums it up. There is a lot of impact to the bordering areas, but it's all previously disturbed areas. And
Just wanted to touch on the walking trail again.
Yep.
So first, just thinking about the rear of the property, just because the wetlands are right there. So the fire road, just to confirm, is that the minimum width allowable?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
great. The walking trail, I know we talked about it when we were on the site, but I've just been thinking about it. Where exactly is the walking trail going? It just along the back of the property, or is it
Yeah. So
around?
which one? The fire or like the physical?
Like the actual walking trail that will be behind the fire road?
So there is no walking trail
There is
behind.
no, okay,
the
there's
fire.
No.
nothing behind
It's-
the fire road, so, okay.
Basically a sidewalk on the back of the school,
Okay.
flush with a small amount of
Okay.
grass,
Okay.
the geogrid supported landscape.
Okay.
Then asphalt in the middle, and then
the
another
fire road.
geo,
Oh,
and all of
sorry.
that. So the geo landscape, asphalt, and geo landscape.
Yep.
That's the 20 feet,
Okay.
and then that's it.
Okay, great.
Then it's a
Okay.
wall.
Good.
It's the minimum amount of space that the fire department
Yep,
will
that's it.
allow for
Perfect.
their largest fire truck to safely make it behind the building.
Great, yep. Okay.
So the fields
Yes.
Okay,
all
yeah.
have walking trails.
Yep.
Okay.
So that
Well-
it's kind of
So
a
that
thin
double brown
line
that goes around.
that goes around the
field,
baseball
that's
fields.
the walking trail.
So the one around the baseball fields is compacted earth. So it's not paved.
Yep.
It's like a dense grade, fine compacted. So it's, nobody's going to just slip or trip on
Right,
it.
right.
But it's not a hard asphalt material.
Okay.
It is asphalt around the 3 multi-use fields on this side.
Okay. All right.
And concrete on the front, yeah. So you can see the outlines of the 2 new fields and then the Jackson field that's remaining.
Yep.
Untouched.
Okay.
Yep. So that walkway is all asphalt except for around the learning area, which is concrete.
Thank you.
And then scroll down.
Yep.
And this was where we had talked about this during the site walk on Friday. Just that exact thing that you were touching on about the back of the proposed school building, and with that wetland line being somewhat jagged in the closest locations, where just under 30 feet, the back of the building is just under 30 feet in its closest point, and second closest point just under 35 feet from the wetland edge. But as you can see, it gets
From the building to the
correct. And here you can see the shaded area in the center of that road. That's the actual asphalt. The line above it is the limit of that grass on the geogrid. Correct.
geogrid supported landscape.
Yep. And that's what's on either side of that roadway.
Is that being constructed after the building's done, or is it part?
Most likely. And it could be in process. The contractor and the GC will kind of figure out the best way to overlay all the different services.
Is it a problem having the wetland buffer be inside of the building?
Technically.
No.
Is it a risk of flooding or something? Or?
So with the elevation differences that we have there, I don't.
We're actually raising the building
Yeah.
from its existing elevation. Yeah, the existing building currently is at like 98 feet.
I'm familiar with soccer balls going into that.
Yeah.
You know.
And the finished floor elevation of the new school is 101 and a half.
I did like the little black like snow fence type thing, netting that
Yeah.
they put up on the length end of one of those. You had to stop that or minimize it. Correct. It's right up against it
Yeah,
in
the limited
those
disturbances on
in those
it,
pinch points.
the buffer or the wetland.
We're actually, is the fire road the only portion that curbs material?
Yes. Other than the building
The walkway around the soccer fields too.
and the walkway around the soccer fields. Yes, that is asphalt.
I think I can flip back to here.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah. So
Concrete.
in the buffer, yeah, there'll be the access road, which is already there. There'll be concrete up to this education area and to here. And then around this side will be an asphalt walkway. I mean, it is impervious, but it's not a lot of it.
It's
But it is.
minimal.
And then again, some roadway area here, but this is comparable to what's out there today.
Mhm. And all of the fields are grass. Nothing is artificial turf.
Correct.
I thought
Are
about
there
it.
as many parking spots in the plans as there are?
There's more parking. Yes. We have another.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, and it's stuck. Too far, now it's stuck. And it's thinking. Well, here are the lovely trees that are going. Let's see. Yeah, so we have 18, 41, 38, 53, 27, and 10. So existing parking spaces 159, proposed 187. Because you're also adding an entire grade to the middle school. So we'll now have 4 instead of 3. So it's the right direction. I mean, you can physically go over there.
Sorry, technical difficulties.
House of Wi-Fi. Or like that. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Oh, it crashed.
So the next thing we'll jump into is the stormwater. Are there any other questions on the jurisdictional areas?
Yep, I'm good.
All right, Stephanie, I'll let you take it away with stormwater.
All right. So this is a dumbed down version of the existing site drainage that's on site, basically showing the main flow patterns. So currently there's no storage, there's no treatment on the site currently. Basically, yeah. There's catch basins on site. This is just kind of the general direction that the water is currently flowing. So the fields have a couple of drains within them that all discharge directly to the wetland behind the school. Then there's a network of catch basins and manholes within the parking and drive areas of the school, which all collect towards the bottom of the property in 3 areas. So we have the daylighted stream coming one way with a couple catch basins connecting directly to it. And then we have a large manhole, it's like a large concrete vault, and that center arrow. And then another drainage line comes through this utility easement on the left, and they all ultimately discharge to the wetland at the base of the parking lot. So all of that converges to DP1 at the bottom, and then this all collects to the left at discharge point 2 at the upper left.
Is that just overnight flow?
So they all go to the wetland, which flows this way to that point, and then this all goes to the wetland / stream.
So I was gonna say it's a design point.
It's a design.
So everything going to that point in the watershed.
Not necessary. I have all the
No, so where all of these arrows are actual pipes, but on our plans, the design point is where they all meet.
Okay.
So then in the new, so site drainage was designed to meet Massachusetts stormwater handbook standards. So reducing peak flow rates and achieving 80% total suspended solids removal. So the entire property, mostly, except for the area of the softball field, all gets routed via area drains and catch basins to 3 underground detention systems located within the parking areas before then discharging down via the existing discharge points at the southern part of the plan.
That discharge is out.
No. It's not. You have a question?
So you're approaching the wetland, putting this chart. Why are you
We're utilizing all our existing. All. Nope. We're tying into all existing. Yep, so hydrodynamic separators are before entry points to the underground detention systems, and then anywhere else where necessary, maybe like the catch basins that are lower in this area, there's no way to like get them backwards. So they're also treated before discharging. All catch basins are 4-foot deep sump, hooded to catch debris. We have, I believe, some deep sump area drains as well. And then via the rain gardens, so we have 6 scattered throughout. So there's 3 down by the fields. There's 2, one on either side of the parking by the baseball, softball fields. And then there's 1 more in the upper right corner by the transformer generator area. So the rain gardens will provide some water quality through the mulch and media prior to discharging up, but they all do have a perforated under drain and an overflow.
Plants has 3 outfalls. Outfalls into outfalls. In terms of the outfalls.
The outfalls are like the existing head walls.
It is.
Yes.
Outfall 1, 2, and 3.
Yes.
Labels are there? Outfall 1, 2, and 3.
They are on our drain.
Here they are. They are hardcore. But that's kind of where they are.
Yeah, so those arrows are the exact. Yes, there's a concrete bulb in the center that we're using same type over here, and it's on the other side. Yep. Yeah, so the fields themselves, that's the only area that's discharging to that upper discharge.
This is called DP1.
In that sequence. Yes.
I know overall we're saying that net outflow is going to be less.
Yes.
What, 2 years time, that's slightly more.
So there's a larger volume going to DP1 than to like 95% of the property goes.
Maybe one.
Yes.
For
Versus
the record, the back.
yes. Yeah, so previously there were 2 other outfalls going to that wetland, and we're not utilizing them. Everything will be routed for proper water quality treatment and to be detained to lower.
We're going to keep over the listening portion.
We won't.
2 years to this.
One of them was slightly
Over.
above. Yes.
And that can handle that. That's what the house is. Not all
Yes.
Neighbor concerns.
Yes, we're detaining
Site all over.
hundreds of thousands of gallons of water underneath the parking lots. So yes.
Drinking water quality too.
Yes.
10-year, 20-year, 100-year, it's less, but it's 2 years. I just want to be concerned. It's not a very big area, and this house is right below it.
Yeah, and that's also through the software. If you do out, it works out. Sometimes HydroCAD can be finicky.
Like just to your point, once those detentions are full, now any runoff, it's not going to go right in.
It's going to overflow.
But they're sized for the 100-year storm.
Yeah.
They're huge. Those are accurately representing how large they are, and they're 6 feet tall. So
Just a question, I guess, about those is recognizing that they're detention, not
infiltration.
they're not retention either.
Yes.
I think
yeah,
Correct.
not infiltration.
right. Yeah, I think I'm thinking more about drought at this point, just because we've been in drought. So I guess just thinking water wouldn't get held up, I guess, anywhere. Yeah,
No, they're designed to hold back water, but
yeah,
let it release at a steady pace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really just made to slow it down. There'll be an outlet control structure on each one of them. And what you'll generally see in it, it would look like a manhole, but it'll have like a metal or sometimes plastic, sometimes concrete weir that'll have, a 4-inch diameter hole at the bottom or maybe 2 of them. So that way that's the most flow that can come out, right? But once it gets to the top of that weir, it spills over. So that way you're not going to back up the whole system all the way through. So every drop of water will come out of that detention system. It'll just be at a lot slower pace.
It's just not, they're designed to not inundate your system with a lot of water at a very quick pace when you have rain.
So this way, he's trying to slow it down.
Exactly.
Yep. As an example, these are how the rain gardens will be designed and how they'll look and function in a way. So, the landscape architect has selected all native plantings that will go in all of the rain gardens. Water will enter via overland flow into the rain gardens. Will go through a mulch layer and a bioretention soil, and then all of them will be outfitted with a 6-inch perforated underdrain as well as an overflow, which goes to the same detention and drainage network. Yes. They're designed to not hold standing water, but in large quick storm events that can happen. Obviously, we don't want a breeding ground for mosquitoes or an unsafe area for kids.
Yeah, and they've all been sized to drain within 48 hours.
Yep.
They'll drain in 48 hours. I was wondering about that, if they're going to stay moist enough so that
Yep, they're designed to drain within 48 hours, and the perforated underdrain and overflow will help with that as well. Yeah, we do have very high groundwater here, though, so the under drains will help with that as well.
how deep is that?
They're usually maximum 2 feet deep. Yeah, they're more like shallow and spread out rather than like a detention pond, which would be smaller and much deeper to store water. They're not meant to hold water for long periods of time. That's it.
And that is,
This is what
although this isn't our handiwork, this is the architect's beautiful rendering. But I wanted to put it in just as we're going through we're civil engineers. We don't make like the beautiful renderings like this. Ours are all the grayscale boring plans. I was like, where can we fit this one? It's just so beautiful. So
I know.
They weren't there when we first started, or they were under construction. The original aerials we have are all trees.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Comments?
I have a couple related to the stormwater.
Yeah.
At first, we looked through the. Sorry, saying all this stuff, but we had this is the stormwater management. Thank you, Brian. Do you have my tags? Thank you. Sorry. Remind myself. This is it. That I wanted to ask too. I'm just not familiar with this. All right, so this is the stormwater management plan, just standard 8. Due to the complexity of the project, the SWPPP will include means and methods at the discretion of the contractor to comply with the NPDES CGP. Yes, the SWPPP in the notice of intent under the CGP will be required to be prepared and submitted by the contractor as the operator of the site. It is at the discretion of the Conservation Commission to allow for the preparation of the SWPPP after an order of conditions is granted. It is recommended that if the Commission considers this option, that the SWPPP is required to be submitted to the Commission within the OLC prior to earth disturbing activities. So, just wanted to say that out loud. So it's not really a question, but just wanted to flag it.
Yeah, so they'll prepare it, and then you can make it a condition or recommendation in your approval that they have to submit it for your review and approval.
correct.
Which is very common. It happens in all of our projects.
Yeah, because so much of what we do is design, bid, build. We're not the operator, so it puts us in a situation where, and I don't think the EPA wants us as the engineer filing it on behalf of the operator, especially when we don't even know who the operator is. So, exactly.
And normally the contractor will hire another consulting firm, environmental scientist or engineer, to put it together because they also don't have the knowledge of the permitting and its requirements and things like that to prepare this way.
We would just have that, would have to be filed, just have it come in under this existing LI number. You wouldn't have to refile or anything, we would have that coming under this existing file number.
Yeah, they could just have it under this.
Yeah, they'll have to-
like we did for the DPW.
But that wouldn't be approved until we had a chance to review it and ask questions to it. They would present it to us, right?
That's probably a good idea.
My concern is that's the most, I think the most impact that could be the wetland would be during construction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This looks like this, it's going to be great, about as long as people do their weekly inspection and their monthly inspection.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But during construction, you can do the most damage, they're a foot, 6 inches away from you.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we have a chance that we can approve, we have in front of us, with a condition to say that.
Yeah, we'll just we'll continue the hearing until we have the company who's actually going to do the construction. They're the ones that are going to come up with the right.
So I think the one issue would be with that, if we continued the hearing, I think we need to be able to start the project. I believe we need the order of conditions to file it with the Registry of Deeds. So if we don't get approved for the NOI and it's just held as a continuance, I think we then don't get the order of conditions, and we then can't. That order of conditions is the legal document too. That here's the mechanism for the contractor.
Then we'll have to put something in the order of conditions that
Additional upon.
they have to come before, we have to have it before construction begins.
Yes, before any earth disturbing activity whatsoever.
Touch the ground without filing.
What?
Before B&Bs get installed.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
we can approve it, but in the order of conditions in our board plate, we will have that nothing can start. Just like our regular one, that nothing can start before, one, the sign is up, and two, the erosion everything's in place. Erosion control is in place. So that could be part of the same order in our boilerplate, that as long as the order of conditions done, this is part of it, that you have to have this and this and this.
Absolutely. And that there are a lot of things, not just with, this permit, but with everything that they're doing. When they first are awarded the job, I mean, that first month, 2 months, 3 months is all the paperwork of setting the table for everything else. So that's when I would anticipate that contractor will be on it ASAP to get that complete, get the SWIP completed, submitted to the EPA for the general construction permit, and submitted to the commission. It's something I didn't think of, with you guys not having an agent. A lot of times when we do these, the agent goes and reviews them, and then I don't think the contractor ever comes back before our commission. It's approved administratively based on their review, but that work is all put on you guys.
Yeah,
which
we're volunteers and we don't have an agent, so
correct.
we work at a paid job.
Yeah.
So we need to be able to have someone come see us and just not give me a call that I'm not going to
I think that would work
this time.
present the SWIP and the NOI to us.
Yeah.
Meeting.
Yeah, and we could give that exact language. That exact language could be put in the order of conditions, right? To spell it out right for the contract. This must be submitted to the Conservation Commission, for whatever hearing you want to be at. We need it at least, 2 weeks before, whatever it may be.
Because we have to put it in the paper the Thursday before the
Yep.
meeting. So,
Yeah, any of that requirements
so
you can put right
because you have to have it in, and then for this one, the ad was in last Thursday. Well, I get the paper on Thursday. I think some people didn't really do that, but it has to be in the paper ahead of time. So, I mean, we don't have to do a notice like that, but for us to put it on the schedule, because our meetings are the first and the third Tuesdays of the month, so you got to plan ahead so we can get you on the agenda.
Yep. And when we have the pre-construction meeting with them, that'll be something that we make note of from a site standpoint of, guys, you got to make sure you're on this right away, because they don't have somebody who's sitting in an office 40 hours a week to review these applications. These are all people working full-time jobs who need to perform this review. You got to get this in ASAP, because you can't put a shovel to ground until it's approved. So that's
and part of the boilerplate too is that we will come out at various times throughout the construction, especially like if there's any storms, whether it rains, snow, whatever.
You can put that in as well.
Yeah.
Controls in place, because sometimes we'll just have to drive by and it's down. It's like we will cease your operation until that's back up. So
and in some terms or another, I think that's a pretty standard condition throughout every town. That the exact terminology may change a little bit, but that exact same intent is in almost all the order of conditions.
Be best friends with the OPM. It's their job to be the communication between the town and the entire construction team.
But it's a critical component, right? We can set all the best plans in place, but if they're not followed,
if wetlands get damaged, that would be, especially considering how close everything is to the building,
Yep.
road, everything.
Resuscitation into the front area is going to increase less flooding area is going to be
Right. Yeah. And they'll have a full
sensitive. I think it's good.
border erosion control. Silt sock, hay bale.
I agree with you. I think that's really good. It's late that we have to get them in here, present the SWIP.
Yeah, we need to get them in here to present the SWIP to us.
Yes.
Yes.
That's all the questions I have. If you want to be you guys would be.
It'll be there.
That would be in the SWIP as well.
Yep. So they have to
Yeah, I have
file
questions about that. Yeah.
the SWIP and the CGP.
Okay.
They
And
go together.
Yeah.
And even the stockpiling question that you asked during the site walk, we'll still put that in the bid documents.
Here.
Yeah, exactly, but that will also need to be in the SWIP and the exactly where they have to say, hey, these are our policies. This is what we're applying for with the EPA and with the Concom. So it'll be there twice.
Okay. Say that.
No worries.
In reviewing the operations and the maintenance plan, which is comprehensive,
Yep.
I wanted to find out if this had been reviewed with those who are responsible, namely the DPW, just to confirm that they are willing and able and have all the equipment they need to carry out the plan.
They should. I don't know if they've officially reviewed it because they don't typically get it until later.
Because I would think actually this would be done by the school district, maybe. I'm not.
Yeah, it varies by town who they
Yeah, I think
put
it's.
in charge of.
Yeah, I think that the town of Whitman, and I believe the DPW was named in the actual, one of the binders has it, but
Yeah, some of it could be DPW, some of them could be like grounds maintenance. It depends on
yeah.
how.
Yeah,
the town wants
I
to
think-
divvy up the
Usually, at least for the school has a facility.
like a facilities manager. Yeah.
They take care of.
Good point.
Yeah.
At least I know the high school and the middle school they mow and do that. The town doesn't do that.
Yeah.
So I think
TSS goal, weekly street sweeping, it's tough, it's pretty aggressive, but you're at 81%, so you gotta, it's a good point. This,
Yeah, just-
this should be, I noticed.
Yeah, obviously the concern is just the maintenance of all the detention tanks and whatnot.
Yeah, that
That's
would be the
like-
town. That would probably be the town.
Yeah, just
Whereas the mowing and the
Yeah,
trees
they have
and
to
all
get the
that,
vac
that
truck.
would
the
probably
rain
Yep.
garden. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
the school district.
Yeah.
But anything
Yes,
that,
the rain
that would
gardens.
be under
Convincing
the
whoever mows the
DPW
lawn to
Yeah.
not mow the rain garden.
division.
Right, well,
They do that everywhere.
No.
Yeah,
Fence around it?
No,
yeah, the sewer.
there's no fence
I can't
around the rain
remember.
gardens.
That's-
They're just like natural
Bruce says I
plantings, and
believe
when they're starting
he
to
doesn't
take towns,
he does
will
the
literally
stuff
mow
in
the
cemeteries
entire
and
rain garden.
Dennis does
Heck, yeah,
the
that's not-
sewer and all.
Yeah, like just to make sure they're prepared.
Yeah.
That's the purpose.
They're set up, basically.
So you want
and a lot of it
They already have
I know,
their own
yeah.
building. It's not as intense as this.
I know, but still.
and a lot of it is really a vac truck. And even if they didn't have one, right? My town doesn't have its own vac truck. Smaller towns don't. A lot of times, it's something that you can schedule service. Where okay,
And what
At-
kind of truck is it?
a vac truck.
like a vacuum.
So
truck.
basically,
It's the same ones they use to clean out storm manholes.
Oh.
exactly. Yep, they suck all the sediment out of the catch basins, out of that sump.
Plan.
Same thing, if any, there really should be almost none in the detention basins. But if you inspect it during your routine inspections and there is some sediment there, that could be backed out as well. So, and in all likelihood, it would probably be in the outlet control structure where things flush forward to that area. Same thing with the hydrodynamic separators; those can be backed out as well. So that the street sweeping at that frequency. That would be worth checking with them if what that plan is in place. And I know we've met with the DPW previously in the project,
Yeah, we can confirm with them.
but we
Make
can.
sure they're.
Street sweeping, 4-foot signs, because basically, if anything in the detention basin signs.
They also have a hood which catches a lot as well.
Yeah.
And those are like, you can see them easily accessible. Yep. Other questions?
Only other thing, so it's tagged in this lovely document. I don't know if we need to crack it all the way open, but it's has to do with erosion and sediment control notes.
Mhm.
I believe it says something about a report being submitted to the DPW. I feel like we probably want to
Be
part
included
of
in
that. Yes, yeah. Just
I'm assuming
crack
it's
that
just on
giant thing open.
the general notes page.
Yeah, it's got
in
my,
these.
my neon tag here. Yeah, number
This one.
16. There.
Right here. Okay, so just add that you also want to be included.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And just for everybody's clarity, because yeah, it's It's about soil erosion and sediment control measures shall be inspected and maintained on a weekly basis. And after a storm events, so on and so forth, the contractor shall submit inspection reports at least every 2 weeks to Whitman Public Works. So,
Okay, we'll include you guys in that note as well, so you will also be kept up to date.
that is all I had. Thank you.
Oh, I didn't realize the survey was a smaller page than the rest of it. That's just whatever was given by the surveyor. MSBA does 30 by 42s.
Yeah.
And the full construction documents are 2 volumes about this tall. They're huge.
There's no drainage pipes on the soccer fields, right?
There are. Yep, so there's a perimeter drain around, so only the 3 newer ones, the one in the center, and then the 2 lower ones. We're not touching the Jackson Field that's remaining. So they have a 8-inch perforated perimeter drain, and then they all have 2-inch or 1.5-inch perforated in a herringbone pattern throughout the entire field. Yes. Yep.
How deep?
Not
The only reason why I bring it up is Weymouth. I had a team play with a pipe right in the middle, and the kids had to avoid it.
Oh no, there's
Oh,
no
no.
visible,
Nothing that's-
none
No.
sticking out. No, not at all.
It's an under
Everything-
drain.
It's an under drain. They're all under
That was a
drains.
tough situation.
I mean, I
Yeah.
guess if somebody dug a hole deep enough in the field,
They're probably a foot.
then you could.
I mean, they're shallow, but like no, nothing will be protruding at all. No, they're all under drains.
But that was
So the water would have to soak through the soils to then get to the drains. And then these are all grass, not turf. And they still have the herringbone because the fields are irrigated from the existing wells that are on site. So in places where you don't have irrigation, we normally wouldn't have that interior herringbone because it would pull too much water, and then you'd end up with a lovely burnt herringbone pattern on your field. Because the grass would just die. So you don't want that, and you won't have it. Yeah.
Do they have any other questions?
I'm also.
Also, too? Yep. We will close the hearing, but who gets the copy? You want me to send it to you, Steph?
Sure.
Okay. I'll mail it to you. Well, I have to send it certified.
Okay.
and
That's what
actually,
it says in the order of conditions.
you should give them your home mailing address.
I can do that.
Okay. Do you have a card?
I do
you
have
have
a
it?
business card.
Or you can just write it down. on a
I will.
piece of paper. It's fine.
With us working like 99% remotely,
Yeah.
we've realized there are a few of these things get sent to the office, and someone gets it, and we don't have a regular desk there, so they just end up somewhere. And you don't want that. You don't want that with an order of conditions, so you
No.
have to bring the original to the registry of deeds. That's
Yes.
not.
All right.
Noisy.
Here's the check for this ad. All my other stuff. Yes. Okay. So now I got what you said. You guys are all set. We don't have any more questions. We will
Awesome.
close the hearing and proceed on.
Excellent. Thank
Nice
you very
meeting you.
much. Nice meeting you all too. And
Thank you.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, I am going to close the hearing for the middle school 340-0486. And we need to vote on it. So I need to make a motion. I need someone to make a motion to
Motion to approve the order
The
of
order.
conditions with the stipulation that we review the future paperwork for the stormwater.
yes, and that will be
In NOI.
yes. Put that in the boilerplate, and that's attached to this once. So we sign it. I finish this because I need the maps because I have to get information off the site plans.
Yeah.
To finish, and then if you can get me the that
I'll
piece.
circulate it for you.
Yeah, everybody can. Yeah.
Yep.
So if you
like
want to
this.
add something, and then yeah, and then I'll send it out.
Okay.
So,
Motion.
so I need a motion to approve the order of conditions for the middle school.
With the stipulation that they're gonna.
Yes, with this.
Okay. Motion to approve.
No, you're a second.
Oh, I'm a second. A second. He did.
All in favor?
Here.
You guys got to work on your Roger rules.
Pretty loud.
Okay. Oh my.
Do you want?
Let's see. There's 3 signings today. Is one. Don't go anywhere.
Just got to vote on it.
Oh, thank you. Yep.
You guys get your own set of drawings?
We get 2 sets of
You get 2
plans.
sets of plans. Okay.
We don't get individual, and
No,
then
no.
they all go back to the downstairs.
File. The bunches. We still recording.
Yes, because we haven't closed the meeting. Roger rules. I think it's called Roger. Anyway. Okay. So we have no other business, so I'm going to close the meeting. It is 8:41 on January 7th, Tuesday, 2025.